Sage Wanderer here. So I wanted to let y'all know that I did in fact receive some help today, and the aforementioned items that were headed to the pawn shop did not have to go. Enough money came in literally while I was pulling into the pawn shop to get me out of the immediate bind. And furthermore, I had some more donations come in that was able to help me meet the bill that was really breathing down my neck. And not only that, I got the bill that was due on Monday. I just got to transfer money around, but I can do that. And I also got the money to pay for my electric bill that's due on the 5th. And then a sizable donation came in for me. I mean, I'm a poor man, so 100 or 200 bucks is a lot of money to me. So I have to work really hard. I have to work 2 days at DoorDash to make 200, and I mean, I gotta hoof it. A lot of times I've worked 2 days and not made $80. So another $200 donation came in, and that's going to be enough money to pay for my phone bill when it comes into the end of the month. And I don't know if it's a God thing or just the way that PayPal works, but PayPal put a hold on that particular donation, and it won't release it till the 21st of May, which is perfect, because that's exactly when my big phone bill comes in. So my three major bills got paid today. So I know that's going to buy me 2 weeks of living before I have to maybe go back to work. But I'm actually having faith in God that this is just going to continue, because I'm working feverishly to make content. I am not sitting around on my rear. I got to tell you, I got stagnated in the culture war, and I got tired of that grind. And honestly, I feel like God's ulterior motive in giving me success in this channel to begin with was to start to spread this message that He's put on my heart. And the biggest struggle now is getting the words out, getting them in a palatable, digestible, understandable form. And so I've been working on that. Also, I'm introducing the idea of a Sunday service. I already recorded a praise and worship session that I'm going to release in the morning for you, so you have that to look forward to. And I'm going to deliver, probably going to record the sermon in the morning. I do my best preaching in the morning. It's why a lot of my greatest videos I put out on this channel are me with my hair sticking up from bedhead in my robe, because I wake up in the morning kind of in tune with God. And you know, I go to bed in whatever way, but when I wake up, it's like I know what's up, and I have inspiration in the morning. So maybe it's all those years of preaching in the morning, that Sunday morning inspiration. But so I'm going to deliver that message in the morning, and put up either both videos separately, or I'll probably do a quick edit. So it may be after you get back from church before this comes out. Interesting side note, one of my endeavors that didn't take off, but I thought was a great idea, is that before anybody started having any kind of off-time services, like everybody was having church at 10 and 6, right, or 10 and 7 on Sunday. And I had a church that I had an obligation to in the morning, but God was calling me to work in this other city. And I did. I ended up working for another church eventually. But I started a church that kind of got it just kind of got kneecapped by the devil. Like, sometimes people you choose to help you can sabotage what you're doing. And that's kind of what happened. You know, there was a family that was helping me, and they had an extended family going to the church that I'd started. But it was an afternoon church. So I just felt like being different. And also I thought that people who went to church, you know, at other times might attend. I don't know. It was a failed experiment to have Sunday afternoon church. But for the channel, I think it's perfect, right? We'll have, by the time I get the service prepared for you every Sunday, if you go to church, when you get back, you'll have something to look at if you want to. If you don't go to church, you can sleep in, and it'll come into you probably around noontime or sooner. I don't know. I'm just going to get it out as quick as I can. And if I get stalled up on the sermon for some reason and I can't get it delivered, which I don't see why that would be. This is a slam dunk. It's the first real, like, traditional Christian sermon that I could preach in a church without making everybody mad and getting them all after me. Like, I'm a little bit, I'm anti-church, right? But this one I could deliver in a church. It's more traditional, and it's part of episode 6 of the Gospel of Sage, really. The Gospel According to Sage, episode 6, is pretty much what this whole channel is going to be about from now on. And but I might slip a coffee talk in from time to time when I get a chance, as a matter of recreation, just for fun. You can't be all work and no play, right? So welcome to the new Sage Wanderer channel. And to the naysayers that say I promised stuff before, you're right, I have. But what I hadn't done was really lock into God. What I hadn't done was sacrifice myself. What I hadn't done was put myself up there on the cross. What I hadn't done was sacrifice my ego, let go of my personal desires, and go all in. I've been running from God since I left the ministry. I had some stuff to figure out, not just theologically, but personally. And I'm going to start revealing to you that I said 10 years in the wilderness in a previous video I've been working on, whether I made it out or not. I'm making so many videos that aren't seeing daylight because they're not good enough. I'm working towards perfection. But it was actually about 14 years ago that I walked away from the ministry. And I had some stuff to work out. But it's also when I walked away from the ministry when I first discovered this gift I'm about to give to you. Because in so many ways it made church, going to church, doing the church thing. I'm not talking about getting together to commune with one another. I'm talking about this game, this mind game they call church. After I came to the conclusion I've come to, and the thing that I'm going to share with you, it makes church irrelevant. It makes every day of your life church, in a good way, the good part of church, not the boring part. This is a 24/7 religion, a 24/7 spiritual walk that I'm promoting in this channel. And there's a pathway to that. A lot of people wonder how to get there, you know. There's that old saying, you know, Sunday's coming. I hear the old preachers, they'd be like, hey, on Monday, you lost your job. And on Wednesday, your car broke down. And on Thursday, that bill you were going to pay that you couldn't pay, well, the lights got turned on. But guess what? Sunday's coming, and relief is just around the corner. Sunday's on its way. But I had a long haul, and I learned a lot. And I think God's called me back just at the right time. He called me back last year, but I had to deal with that whole I need a woman thing. And I still need a helpmate, and I'm just going to wait. I have some people that sometimes give me prophetic words, and during this chaos, I went to them, and they said, look, you're going to get this from God when you quit trying to force it. When you just let go and let God, when you trust Him with that, then the right person, the exact, perfect right person for you will emerge. Someone that is true and honest, supportive, behind you in what you're doing, and willing to partner with you and do the hard work that's ahead of us. And so until then, I'll go solo, and I won't rush it. And I will say this: I'm not going to call it a vow of celibacy. You know, I went 2 years. I went 2 years in celibacy, really just to overcome my own demons and to get closer to God, and it worked. I kind of came out of that 2 years leveled up. It's almost like if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, I went into that as Gandalf the Grey, and I came out as Gandalf the White. And I feel like this last struggle and me letting go this last part of my personal control over my life, my love life, I'm just giving it up to God. And you know, if for the right woman, for a serious relationship, then I will lay down the promise to God. I'm making a promise to God. Oh gosh, that scares me. That's the first time I said it out loud. But I don't need to be polluting my message. I don't need to be draining my energy. I don't need to be messing around with people unless they're absolutely serious. And then I'm going to go very, very slowly until they show me in their actions that they don't just want to, but they can be the woman that I need, the supportive, helpful helpmate that I need. And until then, I'll just go it alone. But I'm never alone because I have God. But I wanted to give you an update. Today was a day of miracles. Thank you, every one of you, whether you gave me a small amount or a significant amount. And in these times of trouble and heartache in the world and everything that's going on, any amount you help me is bound to be a sacrifice, even if you're a wealthy person. So thank you for helping me. It was just enough. And I trust God that I'm okay with just enough. I'm exuberant. I'm happy with just enough. I was looking to buy a few more days, and it looks like I'm being sustained from today for the next 2 weeks. But keep that in mind if you can help out in the future. And I'm not asking any of you that helped out to help anymore. And I know for a lot of you, it was just a one-time thing to get me up and running. But I do believe what God ordains, He sustains. And He has called me to this ministry, so I think some faithful supporters are going to help keep me going. But I'm going to step forward. And if I have to be bivocational, if I have to work a day job and work a second job running this channel and building because I'm not just working on the channel. This goes way beyond the channel. In fact, if I want you to start praying right now, if you're listening, I want you to start praying whether God would move you to help me come to where you are in the world and hold a meeting. I don't care if it's in your house, at the Holiday Inn. If you feel God calling you to have me visit you, put together a small group. I mean, I don't want to just go and hang out with you, but, I want us to reach some people. I want there to be a group dynamic, right? I don't have to be a lot of people. Where 2 or 3 are gathered together, I'll be there. Gathered together in my name, that's where you'll find Jesus. We're all gathered in His name. Even just 2 or 3 of us, we can move mountains, right? But I want to plant seeds around the country of people who believe like this. And you don't even know what I'm talking about yet, but you will, and some of you already do. Some of you know me. You know me. I'm talking about unconditional love. I'm talking about we love people regardless. I found you can fight with your political opponents. You can fight with the powers of darkness, but love conquers all. The most advancement I've made on the kingdom of God was when I came at it from a position of pure love. Just like I was telling you, last summer, a Satanist tried to recruit me and into Satanism, and I was shocked because I was friends with his wife, and she seemed like a nice, sweet person. She kind of had the glow of God about her, and I thought she was a believer, and maybe she is. I don't know how much she knows about her baby daddy. But this guy, he did a really good job. He presented his case really intelligently, like better than most Christians who are trying to convert people to Christianity. And, of course, it fell on deaf ears because I'm an opponent of that whole ideology, all of its forms, even the ones that say they don't worship the devil and more about self-deification and all of that. I'm just an opponent of it, right? I believe in Jesus, the real Jesus, the historical Jesus, the Jesus that I know from my personal experience with being involved in this relationship with the person we know knows Jesus since I feel like since I was born. Like I really never felt like that Jesus was any further away to me than just reaching out my hand and touching Him. He's just always been right there. But I hardcore judged this guy. Like when I got out of there, I was like, woo, dodged a bullet. I'm glad I didn't get any closer to those folks. But I went home and Jesus, the Holy Spirit, convicted me. And God spoke to me and said, how you think you're going to convert him? By declaring war on him or by loving him? If he's not your friend, if he isn't around, you can't have an effect on him. So show him the Jesus in you and the effect it has on your life. Show him your spiritual peace and show him that what he's doing is not working for him because he's not getting the blessings that you're getting. And if you separate and make an enemy of him, you'll just feed his hatred of church and Christian people. And he just worked me over. God took me to the woodshed on that. So, and I know some of you are teetotalers, and I'm in that camp now because I've come to the conclusion that I cannot drink at all, not even socially, not even a little bit. My diabetes is too brittle, and I get sick. So, it never was a big part of my life anyway. It was just something I did socially, and occasionally I would lean on it for extreme pain, like a toothache or something like that in the past, and for heartbreak. But anyway, but this was last summer when I was in what is the word I'm looking for? Indulging a little bit in alcohol. So after a couple of days of God convicting me, I went back to the place where you knew this guy from, and to the nightclub I knew him from. And of course he's there because his wife works there. And so God told me, buy him a drink. So I bought him a drink, And he started talking, and he started confessing to me that he was trying to start a new business. And a lot of times people trying to start a new business just don't know where to start. They just don't know where to push to get the ball rolling. And I've started a lot of businesses, and some of them failed, and some of them succeeded, and some of them were wildly successful in my past. And I'm an entrepreneur by nature, and I try not to work for other people. I try to always work for myself. So I just unloaded on him with a bunch of information I knew about starting your own business. And instead of making an enemy, I made a friend. And now, instead of having somebody who wanted to be out to get me, now I had somebody that owed me one. Right? So, the old saying, you might be the only Bible that some people read. I like it better. Better version is, you may be the only connection that some people have to Jesus. So if you've got the real Jesus in your heart, if you're filled with the love of God, spread it around even to people you think don't deserve it, because you never know when you might be responsible for a miracle. You never know when God might use you to execute a miracle in someone's life. And sometimes it can happen with just the right word. All right, we'll see you in the morning. Have a great Saturday night, and God bless.